What's up, guys? It's Coach Grant with First Down Training, and today we're going to be breaking down a football IQ wide receiver test. So if you guys are not familiar with this type of content, we've done this in the past. I'm going to show 3 specific pre-snap looks for wide receivers. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to ask you a series of questions about the pre-snap look, how you guys would run a specific route. I'm going to give you guys some time to think about it, answer it on your own, and then we're going to play the clip full speed, and I'll break down the correct type of answer. So I hope this video helps you guys out. I know a few of you have been requesting it. So again, hope this one helps you. Also, fellas, if you're a wide receiver and you want to improve your press release game and you want a 50-minute video where I explain every single press release that we teach, check out that very first link in the description below for our 20 press release guide. We'll give you a ton of value. We'll really help that game off the line of scrimmage, and we talk about when to use each release. Let's get started with this video. So like I said, I'm going to show this clip right here. So obviously what we got inside shade, like kind of catch technique, right? About 2 to 3 yards off. So how would you guys run a 10-yard dig? So a 10-yard in, 10-yard dig, just some kind of 10-yard inside breaking route. So you guys can go ahead, pause the video, think about what you want to do, and then we'll play it and we'll go full speed. So you guys go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's break this thing down. So we've got a dig route against inside shade press, or not so much press, but about 2 or 3 yards off. He's man coverage. So what do we know right off the get about this specific coverage? We know that he's lined up inside shade to do what? He wants to take away the inside. So he does not want you to run the dig. He does not want you to run the slant. He's trying to do whatever possible to force you outside because he does not have any help to the inside. So as a wide receiver, I know that I probably won't get what? I won't get an inside release, because what a lot of people think is that when they run an inside breaking route like a post, a dig, a curl, they must take the inside release because somebody probably told them that one time. That's not the case. You got to be comfortable taking an outside release or an inside release on a dig based on the DB's leverage. The DB dictates what release that we decide to take. So let's watch this rider from Thielen. He ends up running this actual dig. So he does this dive release, attacks the DB's leverage, gets over the top, gives a move, and then wins on this catch. That is a very, very tough route situation. That is very, very awkward. And he's able to do this thing because he understands the principles of getting open. He comes off the line and he attacks the DB's leverage. Why do we attack his leverage? Because if you threaten him where he doesn't want you to go, he doesn't want you to run the slant, every single coach on that defensive staff is telling him, hey, do not give up the slant. Do not give up the inside route. So if I threaten him with an inside route, I close the space. You see how his hips and shoulders, when he makes that cut or selling the inside move, that will hold him to the inside. That will get him to move off the platform, and guess what that does? Opens up space for me to the outside. Now, I could run an outside breaking route right here, or I could run the inside breaking route, but I got to take what he gives me. I need to keep spacing on the play. A lot of guys will force it. A lot of guys will come off the line and they try to run up to this DB. They give a fake outside and try to go inside. But guess what this guy's going to do? He's going to stay as squared up to you as possible, and he will force you inside. He will reroute you all the way across the field and try to throw you into another receiver or screw up the spacing of the play. We can't have that as a wide receiver. We need to understand spacing because, like, let's say it's an actual play. Let's say this is Thielen right here, and he's running a dig. Let's say this slot receiver on this side is running like a drag. If you get rerouted all the way over here and you get into the path of the drag, that screws up everything. So we cannot force the release. So now, when he gets to the top of the route, there's 2 things we could do right here. You could either throw this guy by or restack and give him a move. And that's what he does. He restacks and he's able to give him a move. He gives him this rocker step at the top and he breaks over the middle. If you guys said all of that, attack his leverage and restack, you would be correct. Or another thing you could say, if you would have said throw by, that would have been correct also. Attack his leverage, take the outside release, and throw by. You would have been wrong if you said inside release. But now, the only time we'd throw by is if he's playing it well. If he's like maybe a step ahead of where he is, you would take this right hand and put it on his shoulder or his hip and slip underneath, because now I have spacing, but also I maintain timing with the quarterback. Your separation happens at the top of the break, fellas. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time, then we'll get to another clip here. Great job by Thielen. That is exactly how you would want to run a 10-yard dig versus that type of inside shade coverage 2 to 3 yards off. All right, so next clip here. We got this DB. I know you can't tell, but he's lined up a little bit shaded to the inside, and he's about 2 to 3 yards off. We have some space. So how would you guys run a 3-step slant? A 3-step slant versus this specific look. So you guys can go ahead, pause the video, think about what you would do against this specific look. So go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's break this thing down. So now, if you said diamond release, You'd be incorrect. Now, here's why. Diamond release is part of it, but you have to close the cushion with this DB. So he's 2 to 3 yards off, right? Now I'm going to play this full speed, and then I'm going to talk about what you wouldn't want to do. So he comes off the ball, attacks the cushion, then he goes to the diamond release. That is what you want to do in this specific case. This is Chris Olave. Now, if you just went straight up diamond release outside right now, and diamond release is 3 steps, if you guys aren't familiar, on a 45-degree angle, trying to get this DB to think fade, so he opens up and we slip underneath. Now, if you were to just go 1, 2, 3, and then you have to cut back on the slant, there's too big of a gap between the two of you. There's way too big of a gap. So even if his hips do open up, you still have to get here, and he's got a better angle to recover. So you see what he does is he attacks his leverage right off the line. He closes the distance between the two, closes the cushion down. So now when he does attack the outside shoulder, it's a much tighter angle. So when he can make this cut, he could do 2 things. He could get hands on him and swap by, and when he makes this cut back inside, there's not a huge gap for this DB to recover. Imagine if this DB's right here, but Olave's over here, and there's a yard or 2 of space. All this DB is going to do is just open up and be able to play that thing right now. We have to close the space, fellas, when we have that kind of gap off the line. Now, you might ask me, hey, wouldn't that take too long, right? Wouldn't this type of release take too long? But I want you to watch the quarterback's footwork here. You see how he's going just quick game. This is Jameis Winston, I believe. He's going with the left foot, planting off the right foot and throwing. That means that it's quick game footwork. Now, you might ask me, well, wouldn't that take too long against quick game? Not if you were fast when you close the space. So a lot of guys will make the mistake when they close the space and they see this look, they'll do this hesitation release, they'll skip at the DB, and then they'll go diamond. That's when it takes too long. Now, if you had to run a route, maybe like it was like an RPO slant and the quarterback was doing RPO footwork where there was some play action, then maybe you could take your time. But it's got to be urgent when it's quick game footwork. Just make sure that when you close space, it is fast. Let's play this thing again, full speed. Great job by Olave closing the space and then working that diamond release to win on that slant. All right, so now, next clip here, we got inside shade, off man coverage about 7 to 8 yards off. Now, how would you guys run a 10-yard out versus this type of coverage? So you guys can go ahead and pause the video, think about how you would run this 10-yard out, and then we'll break it down. So go ahead and pause the video. All right, let's break this thing down. So inside shade 7 to 8 yards off. Just like the first example, just like everything. Why is he inside shade? Just because he's 7 to 8 yards off, that doesn't change a dang thing. He's still trying to protect the inside. Does not want you to run the post. Does not want you to run the dig. Does not want you to run the curl. He's forcing everything outside because he has help outside. And what's his help? The sideline. So if I have to run a route that's going to the sideline, there's 2 mistakes that guys will make. Well, actually, really only 1 mistake that guys will make. They'll just run. They think that this DB's inside leverage, okay, I could just go run the out route. But if we just take off and try to run, I don't care how fast you are, this DB's going to get hands right into your hip and squeeze you to that sideline. So when you make that break, he will be on your hip, and you'll have only maybe about 2 yards for that quarterback to throw you open. We cannot do that. We need to create space for the QB to throw me open. So he attacks his leverage. Let's play this full speed. So he angles his stem inside and uses a rocker step. So if that's what you said, if you said you want to stem him and attack his leverage, attack his midline or inside shoulder, you would be 100% correct. If you said attack his outside shoulder and push vertical, then break off, you would have been wrong. So you need to make sure that we attack the DB's leverage in this look. Anytime it's outside breaking, you attack his leverage. When it's inside breaking, that's when you would attack his outside shoulder. Now, why would you attack his leverage? Like, wouldn't he just see that that's coming? No, because when you attack his leverage and you square him up, he's automatically trying to protect what? He doesn't want to give up the post, the dig. So he's going to weave inside. Do not give up the inside route. So when he weaves to the inside, and then we can make a move like a rocker step to sell the post, actually step into his leverage, look at how much space that creates for me and him. But look at how much space that gives me to the sideline for the QB to throw me open. When it's an outside route, fellas, like a comeback, a corner, an out route, you got to give the QB space to throw you open. If you don't give him space, then he will not get the ball to you. Let's play this thing again, full speed one more time. Great job by Smith doing this. So if you guys said attack his leverage with a rocker step, doesn't have to be a rocker step, but I prefer that. That would have been correct. Let's play this full speed. Great job by Smith attacking him, giving that move inside, and then winning on this route. All right, fellas, I really want to thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. If you guys have any questions at all, don't hesitate to leave those in the comment section below. We always appreciate the feedback. If you guys like this style of video, we'll definitely do more of it, whatever you guys would like to see next. We always appreciate it. And again, fellas, if you would like a 50-minute long video on 20 different press releases, when to use each one, and then drills to work on each one, check out that very first link in the description below. I'll see you guys next time.